Hey y'all, thanks for joining me again today. We're going to discuss some proven strategies when working on determining and working on implementing our goals. And if that's something that interests you, please give me a thumbs up and let me know that this has been beneficial to you. I am a educator, therapist turned entrepreneur, and my wish for this channel is to provide information to help us grow and content that is good for the entire family. So let's get started with the first proven method that you can employ to help you meet your goals. The first one is the SMART method. And you know that the SMART method, the S stands for specific, the M stands for measurable, and then achievable, relevant, and time bound. So the first thing your goal needs to be is very specific. You need to say, I will do blank by blank. And you could even go into more details and include how you plan on meeting that goal. Then it needs to be measurable. How will you know that you've met the goal? Is it something that will happen at the end where you can measure it? Is it a number? Is it by time? So your goal needs to be measurable. Will you take 5 trips this year? That is clear. You will take 5 trips this year. Is it achievable? Okay, I'm not going to write a goal that I am going to walk on the moon by 2025. Not measurable. Not achievable for me, not for by 2025. So your goal needs to be something that you can actually attain, something within the realm of achievement for you. So make sure the goal is something that you can actually attain within the measurable time frame that you put in place. It needs to be relevant for you. So I've mentioned before in some of my previous videos how your goal needs to be something that you aspire to do, okay? That is relevant for you, okay? And then the last one is time bound. So it is by a certain time. For a lot of folks, you're setting goals that you want to accomplish by December 2025. But just keep in mind that you also need many goals along the way that are for a shorter period of time. All right. So if I want to take those 5 trips by December 2025, so along the way, maybe by February, by the end of February, I've taken my first trip. I have researched my first trip. So the second strategy that I want to mention to you is Dr. Preston's 5 R's. So the 5 R's are results focus, reason, reflection, resources, and responsibilities. Okay? So when you are developing your goal and you want to use the 5 R's to help you move along with your goal. So results focused. So it has an end result that you are focused on, which is similar to being specific and measurable to me. Okay? The second is reason. We talked about this in my previous video, and you want to take a look at my previous video. We talked about why. So the reason is, why do you want to reach this goal? Then it needs to be reflective. You must have some reflection, which means you need to have taken time to look over this goal, and you need to also look in forecasting what this goal would mean to you. The resources that you need or you will need along the way. So if my goal is to go on those 5 trips again, I will need money, right? I will need money. I will need to take a flight or get on a train or buy gasoline to drive to on these trips. So those are resources that I will need to meet these goals. Okay? Responsibilities. I am going to be primarily responsible for my goal, but there may be other things and that will impact me working towards my goal that I am also responsible for. So those are the 5 R's from Dr. Preston. So the final method that I want to mention to you today is the PACT method, PACT method of working on your goals. So you're making purposeful steps that are aligned with your values. Okay? So if your goals are aligned with your values, then you are more apt to work towards them. There's no way that I can do something and be able to accomplish something that's outside of my value system. And that's part of the PACT method. The P is for purposeful, and there needs to be value-based goals. The second, act. It needs to be something that you're working on each day. You're actively working on, you're progressing on each day. So there may not be something that you're specifically doing each day. It might be just a part of what you're doing that is related to your goal each day. So for example, if my goal is, again, to go on these 5 trips, I may need to work each day prior to the trip. So, and I need to make sure that I have enough money to go on these trips. So part of that, I am actively working on that goal. And then the C for the PACT method is continuous, right? This is something that you're continually working on so that you can meet that goal. So I am continually checking in on my goal. I am continually reflecting on my goal as the weeks, days, months go by. And then the final part of the PACT method is trackable. You should put a system in place to track your progress, which we've mentioned before. So you are going to track how many parts of your goal you've done, how many steps you have taken. If you need to have this part of your goal completed by January 20th, for example, I want to have determined my first trip by January 20th. And then I'll have to determine when I'll be taking my trip by January 20th, where I'm going by January 20th. That is a trackable step. Okay, so you have on your schedule, you have specifically things that you can track along the way to help you reach your final goal. But these are small, bite-sized steps along the way that you are able to track. All right. So that we have discussed the SMART method, right? We've also discussed Dr. Preston's 5 R's, and we've talked about the PACT model when working on our goals. You can use whatever techniques, whatever model you feel more comfortable with, and use it, or you can use parts of each model in your understanding in order to work towards your goal. Okay, what's most important, I believe, is what we talked about in the previous video: determining your why you are doing, why are you choosing to work on this goal, and then doing your bite-sized pieces, right? So thank you so much for joining, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.